Yo, y'all already know who the fuck it is. Asharenu from asharenu.com. We back up in this bitch for another one. So it's about 12 a.m. on the West Coast. It's about, 3 a.m. on the East Coast. You know what I mean? We're doing this late night topic. What's up, Green Revolution? Definitely doing this for all the people that don't be catching the live streams earlier in the day because, of course, the big time difference. What's up, Candace? What's up, Dizzy? See, there's just certain motherfuckers who just don't sleep. You know what I mean? Y'all was tuned in earlier too. You motherfuckers just don't sleep either. Just team no sleep, right? You already know how this shit go. You know, putting in that work. What's up, G-Star? What's the deal? So, earlier, they had this thing on YouTube. Once you have 10,000 subscribers, you can communicate with the community. Peace. What's up, Moon Spirit? Man, you motherfuckers just don't sleep. You just don't sleep, you know what I mean? But I respect the hunger, because the same hunger you have for the wisdom, you know what I mean? I had that same hunger, so fuck sleep for right now. You know what I mean? We can sleep when we're dead. Nonetheless, once you have 10,000 subs, I guess you can communicate with the community now on YouTube. YouTube is adding all these new features, which is great, you know what I mean? So I don't have to, post on this website, on Facebook, then Instagram, and I don't really have to do all these things separately. So if you tuned into the YouTube, I can communicate directly from the YouTube without having to deal with all these other platforms, which I have a hard time dealing with all this shit anyway, because I'm not fluent with all this other stuff, Even though I'm tech savvy, I'm not really tech savvy because I'll be so busy putting in the work, so I don't really just be in front of a computer all day. But at least not as much as I used to. As you see, I be getting around a lot, so I don't really have time to just be in tune with everything all at once. So it's easier just to make a YouTube community post and allow people to respond there. So the question I ask on a community post, I ask people what did they want the next topic to be about, in terms of video requests. And I got a couple responses, so I'm going to deal with the responses that I received. And definitely from this point on, I'm going to definitely be posting from the community tab, if y'all are not familiar with that. I'm not sure how it works on you guys' end, but on my end, I post the community tab, and, it allows me to see what's going on. What's up, Jory Richard? I appreciate the super chat donation before we even go in, just strictly off the strength, because y'all already know it's going to be heat. So special shout out to you, Jory. I know you've been rocking with me for a while. You know what I mean? It's been a long time, and you've been supporting me for a long time, bro. So special shout outs to Jory. You know what I mean? Much love to you, bro. Now, what's up? What is it, Artrell? I'm not good with names. I know I be mispronouncing people's names all the time. I'm still learning. So if I'm saying your name wrong, forgive me, but you know who you are. So as I was saying, I made a community post. I asked what do people want me to speak about next? And I got a couple requests, so I'm gonna go down this list and answer the things that came up. And this is not going to be the last time, so I'm definitely letting y'all know. So look out for the community posts. So, I'll be asking, what do y'all want me to talk about? Or what do y'all feel about this picture? I may post up a couple pictures about whatever, ask people's opinions. So definitely stay in tune with the community YouTube tab. So we'll see how far that go, if it's effective, if it's not effective, you know what I mean? So we're just doing a little trial and error run right now to see how it all pans out. So now that that's laid down, let's get into it. Now let me make sure. Hold on. Chaos time, you already know. What's up, student teacher? What's up? I gotta come out to Compton. Now, I do want to address this as well. You know what I mean? Like people definitely been reaching out. So special shout outs to LA. People definitely been reaching out, wanting me to come through. But again, it's my fault because I didn't check the weather before I came out here. I just fucking bought the ticket, not knowing that it's gonna fucking rain all day. I didn't know that coming in, but that's my fault. So I apologize for not checking the weather. Otherwise, I would have came out here. You know what I mean? Definitely could have had a meet up, but I'm like, I don't want to bring people out in the rain. You know what I mean? This is unnecessary. You know, I'm definitely going to come back to LA later on in the year, so we just have to do it again next time. So, my apologies. However, I will still be out here till about maybe 8:30 on the 24th. So if anybody still wants to link up on the 24th, you know, particularly before noon, we can definitely set something up. So if you are in the city and you are free before noon on the 24th, then I would definitely say, you know, let's see, a mutual location. Let's just say Hollywood Boulevard, you know what I mean? Hollywood and Highland. Who knows, you know what I mean? We can, you know what I mean? Y'all want to say what's up, dap me up, you know what I mean? Have a couple words, you know, take a picture, whatever. You know what I mean? So if you're available for that, you know, I'll be available. But again, I want to apologize because I didn't check the weather. I didn't know it was going to be raining literally all day. It's been raining for a full 24 hours. It ain't that type of rain that it started up and it stopped. It's just been raining nonstop the whole fucking day. But had I known that before, I probably wouldn't have came out here on this day. So I want to make my apologies because I'm trying to make plans, not checking the weather ahead of time. So that's on me. I apologize ahead of time. But again, if you have the opportunity to link up, definitely hit my line. Hit my email, Asha at asharenu.com or Lordasar, LORDASAR at gmail.com. Go to asharenu.com. Send me a text message. You know, the number is on the website. You can send me a text message. If you can make it on the 24th before noon, I say Hollywood and Highland on the 24th, goddammit, before noon. So if you can reach out, then definitely reach out. So I definitely want to, again, my apologies for not checking the weather beforehand. You know what I mean? But somebody asked me a question, so of course I have to answer the question. So Dizzy says, what are my thoughts on Purcell Beverly Randolph, or Purcell? If I'm saying it wrong, forgive me. But to my knowledge, he is the godfather of Western occultism. So he has books such as Sex Magic and various other books. And I would say my opinion on him, definitely he's the one who brought all this Western occultism. So everything that we're studying now, when it comes to occultism, is based on his research and based on his work. I also believe he was one of Abraham Lincoln's advisors. You know, I believe that's what he was. He was an advisor for Abraham Lincoln, if I'm not mistaken. But of course, everybody can go do their own research if they want to see who this man is. I definitely, if you are into any type of occultism, definitely knowing who Beverly Randolph is will definitely enhance your understanding. Also reading his works, you know, to give you, because you are getting it directly from the source. You don't have to depend on somebody else's book who studied him and they wrote a book based off of their studies of him. So if you want to connect with the source of Western occultism, definitely check out his works, especially his book on sex magic, which is his most popular book because a lot of his books were written in French, I believe, and they were translated into English later on. So that just let us know right there, you know, just reading these old manuscripts definitely enhances our knowledge in ways that it's not going to be enhanced reading somebody else's works that's writing about him or wrote about the same thing he wrote about, but they didn't put in the work he put in. He was the one who laid the foundation and put in the work. Then he wrote about it. He's not somebody who was just reading a bunch of books, not really putting in that work. So if you want to read somebody who was really putting in that work and who can help you unlock your psychic abilities, that's definitely somebody who was putting in work. You know what I mean? So let's get to these video topics. So one of the topics was, how do you clear up ancestral karma? Now, what is ancestral karma? And how do you cleanse it? Does it need to be cleansed? Is there even a link to the karma of your ancestors and your karma? So on and so forth. So let's break this down simply. First and foremost, karma, the way we think about it, doesn't exist. First and foremost, let's lay that foundation. Karma, as in terms of if you do something to somebody, then you're going to get the same reaction back, or a cause and effect. It doesn't work in the way we think it works. So for example, let's just say you had some violent ass ancestors who was killers, fighters. They was doing all type of savagery. Do you have to clear up that karma? Because you share the same blood, or that mentality may be embedded within you because of the legacy of a bloodline? I would say not necessarily, because those things are cleared up as you do your spiritual work anyway. That's why I always encourage people to constantly put in work. When you put in spiritual work, you're going to cleanse everything that needs to be cleansed anyway. It's not really a separate process you have to go through, because you putting in your spiritual work is going to, and again, what I mean by putting in work, I mean by gaining actual direct experience with spirit. I'm not talking about reading a bunch of books. I'm talking about wisdom. I'm not talking about knowledge. I'm talking about wisdom. Wisdom is when you actually take action based off of all the information you have been gathering. So once you begin to take action and continue to take action based off of the information you've been gathering, you naturally cleanse your karma by taking action on sacred information and knowledge, proving it to yourself that this shit is real. The first thing you have to do is prove to yourself that this shit is real, that the universal laws are in fact universal laws, and that they cannot be broken. They can be bent, but they can't be broken. We have to prove this to ourselves first and foremost, that this shit is real, so that this ain't just no made up shit. Read the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, so on and so forth. So once you prove it to yourself that this isn't just some spooky bullshit that somebody made up, that this is actual fact, deeper fact than the actual fact that we see with our eyes, then that's how you clear up your karma, because you're not going to repeat the same thing your ancestors did, because you have a vaster scope of understanding, because you are tapped into sacred information. That's the difference. When they wasn't tapped into the same thing you were tapped into, therefore you will not repeat the same mistakes that they made due to ignorance. Most of the time, the mistakes people make is due to ignorance and not being in tune with the actual spiritual reality. But because you are in tune with the actual spiritual reality and you proved it to yourself that this shit is real, you will not have to make those same mistakes. Therefore, the karma will not be repeated by you or anybody that comes after you or under you in your particular legacy. Right? Okay. The next thing was, what are the spiritual elements of fasting? And they also asked me to give my personal experiences on fasting as well. So let's get into it. And again, if y'all want to, whenever y'all want to make a video request or whatever, again, just check out the community tab. So whenever I make a post on the community tab, definitely stay in tune with the community tab so that you can be in tune and you can get your questions answered, just in case I don't get them on the actual live feed. Because sometimes there be too many questions. I can get long-winded. I may not be able to answer everything. So definitely leave your questions in the community tab so that I can write it down and have everything written out beforehand. So what are the spiritual elements of fasting? The spiritual elements of fasting is basically, well, before we get into the spiritual elements of fasting, let's just talk about fasting as a whole or in general. So fasting, of course, is you not eating solid foods. Then you can take it to dry fasting, to you not ingesting any liquids as well. So there's different aspects of fasting. You have you say you have water fasting, and you have dry fasting. When most people fast, they're talking about water fast, meaning they're still drinking water or they're still intaking liquids. Most people are not doing dry fast because that is extra challenging to do. You know what I mean? It's the first time you checked out a live stream. Shout out to you, Isaiah. You know what I mean? Again, that's why I do it. You know, I could have waited till the morning or to tomorrow to do this. I'm not waiting. You know what I mean? We have to keep this shit fresh. And I definitely want to reach people that otherwise are not being reached, you know, because the huge time difference. But getting back to it, water fasting and you have dry fasting. The difference between a water fast and a dry fast is everything is enhanced with the dry fast. For example, a 5-day dry fast will have the same effect as a 2-week water fast. You know, just to give you a perspective. So 5 days of dry fasting will be the equivalent to 2 weeks of water fasting. However, it's very hard to do. And I really don't recommend dry fasting until you have conquered water fasting. Because, you know, you have to start somewhere. Start with water fasting. And once you have an understanding of how your body reacts to the fasting, then you can move on to dry fasting. Now getting into the spiritual elements of fasting, why would a person fast? What are the physical benefits as well as the spiritual benefits? Physically, you're cleansing your body because you are allowing your organs to shrink or your digestive system to rest so that the energy that's being used to digest food can be used or redirected towards healing, you know, your body instead of breaking down food. Most of the time, because people are always eating 3 meals a day plus snacks, you know, plus sugars and treats, so on and so forth, their body is never at ease. Their body is never at rest. So whenever people talk about it's hard to meditate, it's hard to breathe, it's hard to do spiritual work, it's because, you know what I mean, their body is constantly active, trying to break down all the food that they keep stuffing their face with. When you stop stuffing your face with food and give your body a break, you start to heal physically. And once you start to heal physically, you see that your mind starts to think a lot more clear. The clarity of your thoughts increase because you're not stuffing your face with madness. When you stop stuffing your face with madness, your thoughts actually become clearer. And when your thoughts become clearer, it's easy to do spiritual work. It's easy to meditate when you're fasting because you don't have an abundance of energy, or you're not running off of the energy of sugars and salts. Most people are addicted not to drugs, but sugar and or salt. When you stop ingesting sugar and or salt, you know, that white girl or that white lady, you know, anything white and powdery or crystallized, then your thoughts start to change. Everything about you starts to change. Everything changes when you stop ingesting salt and sugars. So fasting is just a teaching mechanism to show and prove that when you stop stuffing your face with all this bullshit, it don't matter if you eat healthy. So I'm not talking about eating healthy or eating garbage and just eating as a whole. I don't give a fuck how healthy you feel your diet is. Fasting is a whole nother beast. You know what I mean? It's a whole nother battlefield when you're not eating anything at all. Whole nother battlefield. So once you get your diet on point, then you start fasting and see if you can rise to the challenge. So once your thoughts start to clear, anything spiritual related is easier for you to do. It's easier for you to meditate. It's easier for you to get into the dream world. It's easier for you to channel. It's easier for you to activate your psychic abilities, telepathy, so on and so forth. It's easier to do anything spiritual when you fast. So those are the spiritual elements of fasting because it opens you up to the spirit realm when you fast. But of course, it's challenging. It's not easy to do. I don't recommend it for most people because they're not ready for that type of hardship because they just wasn't built like that. You know what I mean? They're not built to deny themselves of food. Some people need to eat 3 times a day to maintain their sanity because they feel if they don't eat for 3 days, they'll die. There's people who still think that in their mind. So telling a person like that to fast will be counterproductive. So you have to prove to yourself that you can go longer than 3 days without food and not die. You know what I mean? Like that's something you have to prove to yourself. I had to prove that to myself. You know what I mean? Nobody had to tell me that. I had to prove these things to myself. So always prove it to yourself. It's never about nobody else. Prove it to yourself. You know, so that's a quick answer to that question. You find dry fasting is easier than water fasting. The reason dry fasting is easier than water fasting is because when you're constantly drinking water, it makes you hungry. When you're not drinking or eating, it's easier to stay focused. However, you must first water fast to even know the benefits of dry fasting. So you're absolutely right. It is easier to dry fast, but it gets harder the longer you go. So it's easier to dry fast, but once you get into your third and the fourth day, 72 hours into a dry fast, you may want to reconsider because now you're really going through it. You know, you got to be a tough cookie to dry fast for 72 hours. So for all my tough cookies out there, dry fast, don't eat or drink nothing for 72 hours just to prove to yourself that you won't die. You know, how many people are willing to take up that challenge? You know, now you have to deal with the fear of death. That's another thing about fasting. Now you have to deal with the fear of death. Damn, am I going to die from this? Find out. You know, I can't tell you. You must find out and you must make your own self-discoveries. All right. What's the community tabs? I don't, you know, it's a new YouTube feature. You know what I mean? Like, I'm still getting familiar with it. I only have one post. I don't know how it works in terms of the people that's viewing the content. I think you may have to come to my page. I believe you have to click on my page, and I believe it's a community tab up on top. So when you click my page, you go to Asharenu, the YouTube page, and I believe you can slide. I don't know how it is. I'm still learning all this as well. These are new features. And again, these are activated once you have 10,000 subscribers. So I'm just like 50 over 10,000 subscribers. So it's just new to me. I guess people been doing this shit, but I just made it past 10K. So I guess it was open to me now. Now, how it works in terms of the viewers, I don't know how it appears on y'all end. Y'all will have to let me know. But I'm pretty sure if you scope around a little bit, you know, you do your Googles, I'm pretty sure you will find out how it actually works from the viewer's end. So it's just a new feature it's new to me. I guess it's not a new feature to YouTube. It's just new to me because I reached over 10K. You know what I mean? And so, you know, we making moves. You know what I mean? We still going and we building up, so we going to keep it going. So let's see here. What's the longest time I've ever been on a water fast? I would say like 11 days. 11 days, no food. However, during those 11 days, I had the most energy I've ever had in my life. I recorded like 50 videos, put them out in 2 weeks. If y'all don't believe me, just check the timeline. You know what I mean? So if you're willing to endure that hardship, once you get over the bullshit and once your body starts to heal itself, now that your energy will start to come back over time. And you will be able to, it's like your thoughts are more clear. So basically, in other words, all your problems will dissolve. All the problems you think you have, fast. All the problems you think you have will be solved when you fast. I know this from personal experience. So any problem you think you have, you must fast because it makes your mind clearer and it allows you to think more deeply into your situations and allows you to solve your problems more easier instead of things just seeming all scattered and nothing makes sense. It's because of the diet, not just because the junk diet, just eating too much, period. So even if you eat super healthy, if you're eating too much, you're still not going to get the benefits of fasting. So that's why I say even if you eat healthy, you still must fast to take yourself to the next level spiritually. Now, are there ways around fasting? Of course, but to each his own. You know, but I definitely recommend fasting for all the tough cookies out there. You know. What are my thoughts about the rapture? What do you mean by the rapture? You have to let me know what you mean by the rapture. Are you talking about a movie? Are you talking about an event? So what do you mean by the rapture? I don't know. I don't necessarily know what you mean. Is it a situation that's taking place, or something that will take place? You have to let me know exactly what you mean by the rapture. How do you think we access parallel universes, reality to help us with our present existences? How do you access parallel realities? I just did a video about parallel universes. I believe the title of the video was, "What does it mean to exist in a parallel reality?" I just did a video on it when I was in DC. But to answer your question, how do we access parallel universes? You access it first and foremost through the dream world. You must have access to the dream world. When you go into the dream world, you are accessing a parallel universe. So whenever we have dreams, this is a parallel universe. And the more familiar you become with that parallel universe, you can bring that reality down to the physical level and have direct access to that parallel universe by becoming more acquainted with the atmosphere. You know what I mean? So for example, when certain people go to sleep, let's just say, you keep magnetizing yourself to a particular city, a particular state, a particular atmosphere. There's always a certain person in your dreams. There's a reason why certain patterns keep coming up in the dream world, because you are magnetizing your energy towards that particular thing for whatever reason that's going on in the subconscious mind. So the quick answer is, how do you access parallel universes? Through your dreams, or through visions, or through meditation, just depending on how you do your spiritual work. And of course, if you want to enhance the dream world, your meditation and all that, fast, stop eating food, do a water fast, and see how many parallel universes you have access to. But you must be able to endure the hardship of allowing your body to heal itself so that your mind can be at its most optimum state, right? As well as the brain. You woke up at 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, putting in work. Yeah, we always putting in the work. So I appreciate everybody tuning in. I appreciate everybody, waking up. They got the notification, they tuned in because they know it's real. You know what I mean? So I definitely appreciate it. So we definitely gonna keep answering these questions. I got a couple more here before we get up out of here. Shit, I already been talking for 30 minutes. You see, this is, to me, I be manipulating time somehow, because I'm just running my mouth and I look up, it's already 30 minutes. It don't feel like it's been 30 minutes, but I guess I've been talking for 30 minutes. So let's move on, right? Let me not waste any more time. Let's continue to go down this list. The next question was, how to take advantage of Mercury retrograde. How do you take advantage of Mercury retrograde? To take advantage of a Mercury retrograde, because during a Mercury retrograde, basically electronics start to malfunction. Your travels start to get interrupted. You know what I mean? So if you're traveling, you may experience delays. You may miss your flight, miss your scheduled bus or whatever. You know what I mean? It may be super traffic for whatever reason. It seems like your travel is just extra complicated for no fucking reason. Or the technology is malfunctioning. Your Wi-Fi isn't working. Your 4G isn't working. Just some shit is just malfunctioning for no apparent reason. So how do you take advantage of a Mercury retrograde? Detach from travel and electronics. You know what I mean? It's, for me personally, it's a time to get back. I'm not even going to say get back in tune with nature, because I feel like that shit is redundant at this point. How many times are we going to say that? So I'm not talking about just go outside and be in nature. Be with yourself and be alone. So during a Mercury retrograde, take time to be alone with yourself. That is a perfect opportunity to fast. Fast during a Mercury retrograde so that you're not even thinking about the internet and Facebook and YouTube and Instagram and Twitter, and all these Snapchat, Detach. Because I believe Mercury retrograde lasts I believe 2 weeks, a couple weeks. It lasts for a couple weeks. So you got a good amount of time to tap into your spirituality, which most people don't do, because most people, all this technology starts to malfunction, they just try to fight against it. Leave it alone. If the shit is malfunctioning, if it's problems that occur, leave the shit alone and just go do something else. You know what I mean? Fast, tap into your spirituality, doing other things. So, to take advantage of a Mercury retrograde, leave technology alone or to a bare minimum. Only get on there to post. Don't be strolling through the timelines and the feeds. Fuck all that bullshit. You're not even going to want to do all that shit anyway if you're fasting. You're not going to have time to engage in the fuckery that's all over the internet. But that brings me to another point. Why is it so much fuckery on the internet? It's because we truly see how mentally disabled people are. There's a reason why there's so much bullshit on Facebook where everybody wants to reveal their whole lives as if people give a fuck. Why do people reveal information that is irrelevant? Because people are mentally disabled, because they're not tapped into their spirituality. People are egotistical. People are typing shit as if people care. But that's their ego. Like, yo, I'm going to type my whole life story because I'm egotistical, because I think people want to, be in tune with what I have going on, which isn't usually the case. Now, of course, people may like it, people may comment, people may pretend to care, but are they actually helping you? How many likes and comments are helping you get through the situation you're going through? How many people are actually calling you? How many people are actually pulling up to make sure that you're good? Or are they going to just leave you some Facebook likes and comments and hearts and emojis? But people are mentally disabled due to not being in tune with their spirituality. But again, it's because we are dominated by the five senses. When you turn off the five senses and tap into the sixth and the seventh sense, you're not going to want to post on social media. You probably won't give a fuck about social media. Social media becomes irrelevant to you when you tap into your sixth and seventh sense. Social media is only relevant when you are locked down by the five senses. You know what I mean? Why else would you give a fuck about who's fucking who? About what's going on in somebody else's household? What dick is going in what pussy? Why would you even give a fuck about anything relevant to anybody else's business that has nothing to do with you? Why would that ever be relevant? Unless you're locked down by the five senses, because you not fucking. So you want to know who's fucking who. Because you not getting no action. Because you locked down by the five fucking senses. I mean, how blunt can I be, right? Somebody needs to tell the fucking truth. When you ain't fucking around with the five senses, you don't care about what somebody else is doing with their body, what somebody else is doing with their money, what kind of car somebody is driving. You just don't give a fuck about any of this shit because it's truly irrelevant. Right? Just in case you didn't know. Let me see. What's up, William? What's up, King? What's the deal? So let me continue to go down this list. The next question was, how do you maintain a manifestation? Which is a great question, because we've all have been in a situation where we have manifested something, but it may have only been short term. So let's just say you've been chanting clean and you met somebody who you feel is cool. Like, okay, this person is pretty cool. I've been putting in my clean mantras, been chanting this shit all day. You know what I mean? Probably for weeks at a time, whatever. You may have to chant clean for 10 fucking days to meet somebody that's halfway decent. So you've been putting in your work, 10 days past, 20 days, 3 weeks, if you even have that type of endurance. But assuming you do, let's just say you meet somebody that's halfway decent. Then let's just say they don't call you back. They stop replying to your texts. You know what I mean? Y'all, for whatever reason, the communication stops or it changes. So a person is left like, okay, I've been putting in all this clean work, I thought I met somebody that was cool, then all of a sudden the communication gets cut off or whatever, whatever happens, it just ends up not being what you thought it was. So you would say, okay, well, I thought I was manifesting something, a potential friendship or relationship, right? You thought you was on a road to success, but for whatever reason, it didn't pan out. What happened was you were not able to maintain the manifestation. You directed your attention into something, but once you got it, you lost mind of what's actually going on. What do I mean by this? Okay, let me put it this way. You putting in all this mental work to have a physical experience. And once you have the physical experience, you stop putting in the mental work. That's where people fuck up. You're doing all these cleans or whatever mantra, whatever spiritual work you're doing. And once you see one gist of results, you stop putting in the work. Oh shit, I met somebody. I don't need to do clean anymore. Yes, you do. So what that it works? That doesn't mean you stop doing it. Right? That's the difference. When you see results, you keep going. What happens is they meet the person and they get so infatuated with the person that they stop doing the work that attracted the person in the first place. They get so caught into this person's frequency and this person's aura that they stop putting in the work for themselves. So when this person changes their perspective of you because you're not doing what you did to attract them in the first place, that's why the shit changes. So, for example, we say with Stream. Stream helps you to attract currency. So when somebody actually attracts some currency, they stop doing Stream. Oh shit, I attracted some currency. I am successful in my undertakings. No. You must continue. That's just the tip of the iceberg. You must continue to put in the work that you started with. Don't start some shit without finishing it. You must finish. Don't start it and stop halfway when you actually start getting physical results. So people look at physical results as an opportunity to stop or it's working. Continue to put in the work even when you see it manifesting until it fully takes form. Don't stop putting in the work till it fully takes form. If it doesn't fully take form, that means there's more work to be done. So that's how you maintain the manifestation. Keep working even when you see the manifestation unfolding right before your eyes. Don't let that be a reason to stop because you know all is mental. Don't clean up. Let's just say, we can get pretty blunt. You would do, you doing this clean, you meet a nice looking woman who is attracted to you. And now it's all about the woman. Fuck the woman. It's all about this. This is what's keeping the woman, not you, not how you look and all this shit. Fuck all this physical shit. If you want to maintain your manifestations, you need to keep this on point. This is what's keeping the money. This is what's keeping the relationship. This is what's keeping the career. This is what's keeping your status. This is what's keeping the world moving. What's going on up here. So when you stop doing this and you start directing your attention to the actual person or place or thing, whatever, and stop focusing on this, that's when shit starts to get sticky. Just in case you didn't know. Right? Okay. Let's see. Solomon says, you constantly feel fucked up. You've been fasting every day lately, but no longer than one will pass in one day. Well, hold on. Either I'm reading this wrong or you made some type of typo. Let me try again because it may be me. So if I read this and it don't sound right, then you made a mistake. You constantly feel fucked up. I've been fasting every day lately, but not longer than one Will passing the 1 day mark help me find some peace? I understand. Will passing the 1 day mark? Of course, passing the 1 day mark. Of course. You don't really start to experience the true effects of fasting until maybe about 5 days. You need to be about 5 days in for you to truly even feel some spiritual weight lifting off of your shoulders. 1 day ain't enough. You at least need 72 hours. I'll say that. You need more than 24. You need at least 72 hours just to see a little sand or a little speck of dust that will materialize. You need at least 72 hours. At least 72 hours to even see a little glimpse of light that you may be on the right path. So you need at least 72 hours. Without 72 hours, 24 hours ain't enough. Now, if you're training to build up to 48 hours and 72 hours, that's different. That's training. If you're training to build up your time, that's different. But if you know that you can fast for 72 hours, but you only choose to do 24, then you know that you must raise up your endurance. So aim for 72 hours. So 1 day needs to be 3 days. But I know when you fast, you have to take it a day at a time. So I'm not saying it as if this is the easiest thing to do, because it's not. But it's very possible if you're dedicated. If you can go 1 day, if you can go 24 hours, you can go 30 hours. If you can go 30, you can go 35. You can go 35. You can go 48. If you can go 48, you can go 72. It's all mental. So strengthen your mind, and you can fast as long as you want to. You need to keep this on point, and you can fast as long as you want to. This is what's really being tested, not your actual body and you actually eating food. What's really being tested is your mind. How powerful is your mind? How long can you hold on to certain thoughts? That's what determines your manifestation. All right. Exactly. Couple your fasting with your breath work. Because you're not intaking food, you need another source of energy. So the source of energy that you're getting, because you're not getting your energy from food or water, you're going to be getting your energy from breathing. So you must enhance your breathing when you fast. Fasting and enhancement of breath work works wonders, works miracles. So fast and combine it with breathing techniques to increase your spirituality on a holistic level. Moving right along. Let's see. We make sure the battery is good. Okay, the battery is good. Next is protection. So the question was asked. They just put protection. It wasn't even in the form of a question. They just said protection. So I'm just going to formulate a question for them. Basically, I would say, I guess what they were alluding to is, how do you protect yourself spiritually? Because I don't think they mean physically. Of course, if you want to protect yourself physically, you can do many things. So I'm assuming they're talking about spiritual protection. Spiritual protection exists with the energy of Saturn, the colors black and purple, or the deity of Anubis, or Baron Samni, or whatever energy that resonates with Saturn, the root chakra. So if you want to increase your protection, focus on your root chakra and enhancing your root chakra. In other words, you must feel protected at all times. I'll give a short technique for those who are just starting off. Utilize your imagination. Before you walk out the door every day, the door of your home or wherever the fuck you live, imagine a rainbow aura around you. Imagine that your aura is a rainbow color. So around you, let's just say, let me turn this way. So your aura, let's just say, is right here. So you want to imagine a rainbow spear around you, about from here, here, yada, 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 right? Then on top or next to that rainbow aura, you want to imagine a black aura. So let me put it into perspective. So you right here, you got this rainbow aura. So you imagine with your mind a rainbow spear that encompasses your whole body. So from right here, then from this perspective of this layer, you do the same thing. Imagine a black spear. So you got this rainbow aura that's circling all around you. Then a couple layers outside of that, you have this black aura. So you surround yourself with a rainbow aura with your imagination right here. Then right here, you surround that with a black aura. Because remember I said the color black. So there you go. So you walk outside with that shit and keep your mind aware of the aura. That's the mental exercise. Don't just do it, then walk out the door, then forget you did it. Keep your mind on this aura that's moving around you, this rainbow color aura that's circulating around you, as well as that black outer aura that's circulating around you. And keep your mind on it. How long can you keep your mind on that? And watch things occur in your life differently, because you are directing your intention on protection of your aura. Things will happen to you in a much different way because you are giving energy to protection. So short answer to a complicated question. All right. Jeffrey gave a $5 super chat donation. So special shout out to you, Jeffrey, for the $5 donation, because we know we all putting in this spiritual work. So I appreciate you. Special shout out to you, Jeffrey. Much love and respect. You know what I mean? What's up, Queen of Success? I haven't seen you in a while. Maybe you've been in tune. Maybe you haven't been commenting, but I haven't seen you in the comments in a while. But, you know, we still putting in that work nonetheless. You see, we don't sleep around here. We still working, and we always going to be working, right? So appreciate you for tuning in, Queen of Success. Yeah, you know what I mean? So, you know, definitely stay in tune because we taking shit to the next level. Moving right along. Let's see what we got. The next question was, which again wasn't a question, but it was phrased in this way, so I will make it into a question. The question I was asked, or the question I was alluded to being asked, was self-discipline and not falling for illusion. So in other words, how do you discipline yourself so that you don't fall for the illusions of Gander or the five senses? How do you discipline yourself so that you don't fall victim to the five senses? Now, of course, we already talked about breath work, and we already talked about fasting. So let's talk about, and we already talked about building up your aura, protecting your aura. So let's talk about it from a different perspective. So how do you build up discipline so that you don't fall victim to the five senses? If you don't want to fall victim to the five senses, or if you just want to build up discipline in any arena of life, you must interact with the discipline directly. What do I mean by that? If you want to master martial arts, for example, you must practice martial arts. So if you want to master the five senses, you must indulge in the five senses. What do I mean by that? For example, let's just say we're not going to talk about food. Let's talk about a different perspective. So let's just say, okay, we'll use this example. Let's just say you have a hard time keeping money in your wallet or your purse. You know, you want to build up your endurance so that you don't spend money on things that appeal to your emotions, right? So when you see nice things, instead of you wanting to buy these things, you want to keep your money in your pocket, but it's hard for you to do that. So how do you discipline yourself to not spend your money? How do you discipline yourself to save your money if you're a person that has a hard time saving money? How do you learn how to save your money when you like to spend your money? So first and foremost, you must understand why you like spending your money, or why you like nice things, or or in other words, understanding that it's not anything wrong with wanting to look nice, have things that look nice on you. So there's nothing wrong with that, first and foremost. And you actually don't need to change your spending habits. You just need to make more money. That's my answer. So I'm not telling you, don't buy the nice shit. Buy the nice shit if you want the nice shit. But if you want the nice shit, you must find a way to make more money so that you can still buy the nice shit and still save money. That's a harder challenge. See, there's one or two ways to deal with that. That money that you would have spent, you save it, or you make more money so that you can still get what you want and still have money left over to save. You can go either way. So for some people, they want to discipline themselves and like, okay, I'm just not gonna spend the money. I'm gonna keep the money where it's supposed to be. Other people, I'm gonna buy that shit anyway, but I'm gonna find a way to increase my revenue streams or my streams of income. So if you are a person that likes to buy nice things, but you want to still have money to be saved that can be invested into things that will help you in the long run, businesses that will last for generations, or at least for the rest of your life, then you must open up new streams of income. So I encourage everybody watching this video in the past, present, or future to find a way to generate a new source of income and build it up from scratch. So instead of neglecting yourself or denying yourself of nice things, create another stream of income so that you don't have to deny yourself, but you can still have enough discipline to save the money. So let's just say, well, if you have another stream of income, let's just say a person who likes to buy nice things, who's to say that they won't use that extra source of income to buy even more nice things? Because at least you have some nice shit anyway. You're not walking around without nice shit because you still buying the nice shit. So at least you got some nice shit to hold you over, right? It's just all about perspective. So open up more streams of income. How do you do that? Because I'm not just going to leave it there. How do you open up streams of income? You have to discover your hidden talents. Because we all have, or you can say we are all multi-talented beings. Because we are multi-dimensional beings, we exist on all levels. On the magnetic level, on the electric level, on the etheric level, on the astral level, on a subatomic level. We exist on all these realms. Because we exist on all these realms, we are multi-talented. We are able to pull energies from all of our planets. For those who have their natal chart done, you understand what I mean. We have 10 different alignments. So we can pull energy from any of these planets. You can pull energy from Mars. You can pull energy from Venus. You can pull energy from the sun. You can pull energy from the moon, etc., so on and so forth. And they all represent a certain talent that can make you money. So if your sun sign is a Leo, for example, you can use that to your benefit to generate a source of income by being a Leo, because it's something that you possess that other people who are not Leos, and again, I also encourage people to get their personal natal charts done. If you want me to do it, then request my services, because I'm going to give you actual more details than you can get online. Nonetheless, if you don't want to do that, you still have the option of doing it yourself. So, meaning there's a difference between a 25th degree Leo and a 1st degree Leo. What do I mean by that? We know that the zodiac signs last for 30 days. So somebody born on the 1st of a month is going to be different than somebody who was born on the 15th, although they may still be a Leo. You're not the same Leo as a person that's born on the 1st if you was born on the 15th, just like you're not the same Leo as a person born on the 15th if you was born on the 22nd. There's a unique configuration or a unique mathematical equation based on when you was born. So it's not enough to know your zodiac sign. You must know your degrees within your zodiac sign. And when you unlock the degrees within the zodiac sign, they will reveal to you a hidden talent. And the hidden talent allows you to transfer that into a source of income. Just in case you didn't know. But that's why I'm here to let you motherfuckers know, if you didn't already know that. Lastly, we have one more question here. And see, we already been talking for an hour. You know what I mean? I don't know how this shit be happening. You know what I mean? Let me see. How do we tap into sub-modality senses? Or in other words, how do you tap into the quantum world? If we're talking about subatomic particles and subatomic realm, anything sub anything, it's mental. So you do it mentally. It's not something that you can do physically. If you're talking about subatomic particles, you can't tap into that physically. You have to tap into that mentally, and you can't even tap into it mentally. You have to be in a trance state. So, what do I mean by that? You have to be into a trance state, or the state between you being awake and sleep. Right before we go to sleep, we start to have visions. For those who pay attention to, their actual sleep cycles, not a person who just lay in their fucking bed and close their eyes and go to sleep. If you study right before you fall asleep, you start to experience visions, or you go into a trance state before you actually fall asleep. So you start to experience visions. While you're in this trance state, or this in-between state, you can tap into the subatomic realm, because you can take your mind places and go further in your mind that you were able to go to when your conscious mind was awake. A trance state means your conscious mind is shut off and your subconscious mind is now basically ready to be programmed. And based on the visions that you are experiencing, your subconscious mind is reflecting those visions. Or in other words, you can direct your mind, because now your conscious mind is cut off because you're in a trance state. So now you don't have any interference. You don't have just pretty much this nagging motherfucking telling you can't do this, or this is not possible. You don't have this hater, because most people are their own biggest hater. You don't have this hating ass egotistical mind telling you what you can and can't do. When you are entering into a trance state, now you can visualize anything you want to visualize. But again, most of the time this process is automatic because people are not paying attention, because they're just too fucking tired. So when they lay down, they're ready to fucking go to sleep because they're too fucking tired. Because they're too fucking tired, they don't even know when they go into a trance state. They're not paying attention to their visions. They're just too tired to maintain their energy, to maintain their consciousness. So they just fade to black. Then they just wake up. But if you keep your energy up, exercise before you go to sleep, meditate before you go to sleep, 20 minutes before you go to sleep, meditate. Exercise. Do something before you go to bed. Don't just make the transition from awake to sleep. Create a bridge between the dream world and the conscious world. Create that bridge. So as you walk past, or as you walk over the bridge, you are entering into a trance state. When you enter into this trance state, you can tap into all type of realms. You are truly unlimited with what you can do with your mind. But because most people are unfamiliar with this process, it's a bit scary and it's a little bit too unfamiliar for people to master it. But that's why I'm giving you techniques to how to do this shit on a personal level. So you build the bridge to the trance state, and once you enter into that trance state, that's how you can tap into the what did you say? The sub-modality senses, by building up the bridge between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind while you enter into a trance state. Bow. Anyway. Oh wow, so the Neo or the natal chart helps you to find out hidden talents? Absolutely, if you understand the mathematical equations. So, for those who don't study numerology and astrology, you may not have known that. But because I study things like this and I know, and now you know. So again, if you need further help with that, request my services and get a natal chart done. If you want to discover what your hidden talents are, because I'm constantly increasing my knowledge, you know what I mean? So if you got a natal chart done by me, let's just say last month, I know new shit now. So you may need to get another one, so you can find out all this information that I find out on a daily basis. Nonetheless, let's keep going. Just a little advertisement there. How can you get over anxiety or fear and have no limits of life? It's not really a question of how can you, it's really a decision. You just make the decision to do so. It's not really a process, it's just a decision. Because every day, as I was saying, the conscious mind is a fucking hater. Your ego is a fucking hater. Your ego is telling you that this shit is not possible. I'm only limited to the color of my skin, or I'm only limited to my height. I'm too tall, I'm too short, I'm too black, I'm too white, I'm too brown, I'm too beige. I'm not good enough, my teeth are not fucking straight, women don't like me, or men don't like me. That's the hating ass egotistical mind telling you all that bullshit. That's creating that fear and that anxiety based on shit that isn't even real. If you want to understand the universe, you have to think in terms of vibration and frequency. The only thing that matters is vibration and frequency. So when you manipulate vibration, your vibration, which will manipulate your frequency, that's how you change your reality. So the vibration of fear and anxiety is coming from the hate-ass egotistical mind that we all have. We all have an ego. Because without an ego, we wouldn't have a sense of self. However, the ego doesn't have to be the enemy. So if you want to get over fear and anxiety, you have to open up the doors to the trance state. That's why you open up meditation and your dreams. And this is why all these things are relevant. Because if you truly want to know what you're capable of, you must do it in meditation, you must do it in a trance state, and you must do it in the dream world, having lucid dreams and astral travels. That's how you explore your limitations and break your limitations. So before you change in the physical world, you must change on a subconscious level. So don't even think about how do you do it physically. Remember, when we reprogram our subconscious mind, that's when reality changes. You don't change reality trying to manipulate your conscious mind. You change reality manipulating your subconscious mind. But in order to program the subconscious mind, you must turn off the hater. The hater must be turned off. You turn off the hater when you get into a meditation and when you can open up a trance state and you can have dreams and you can actually project your consciousness into the dream world and experience a lucid dream. When you experience a lucid dream, now you can do whatever the fuck you want to do. The only limitations is based on your own imagination. And once you start expanding your imagination by doing all type of fly shit, then it will start to reflect in your reality, and that fear and that anxiety will dissolve. You know, but of course this is a process that we're all constantly doing on a daily basis. You know, it ain't something that you can do a year ago and you stop doing the work. That's why I told you earlier. You have to constantly and continuously be putting in the work. Don't stop because you see results. Go harder because you see results. Don't lighten the weight. Make the weight even more heavy when you do experience success. Keep going. It's 3:27 a.m., but you up for this? You already know. I don't know what fucking time it is. I don't know what time it is. We already been talking for an hour. But the last thing is, before we get up out of here, because I know, y'all see I like to be long-winded, because I like to be thorough with my answers so that y'all can actually take this information and do something with it. You know what I mean? Thank you for the wisdom, no doubt. No doubt, homie. And, the last thing is, how do you find significance? And how do you flip it to your advantage? Now, in other words, how do you find significance in the everyday mundane life that we all live, right? How do we find significance in all this chaos that we have to deal with on a daily basis? And how do we flip it to our advantage? This is why we do spiritual work. Because most of the time, significance cannot be found in mundane matters until you open up your third eye. This is why a person will open up their third eye if they choose to open it. You choose to open up your third eye so that you can find significance in mundane matters, such as staring at a fucking tree. You start to see things that other people don't see. Somebody else can be looking at that same tree, and find no significance in it. But you looking at that tree and you looking at the patterns of the tree, you looking at, damn, every tree has a unique pattern. There are no two trees that are the same. Every tree has its own personal journey. So you looking at, and you can see the aura of the tree. Every tree has a different aura. So when you look at a tree, you're seeing all type of fly shit. Everybody else looks at the tree as a fucking tree. That means nothing to them from their perspective. So to find significance in mundane matters, that's why you open up your third eye, so that you can see more. That's why some people do drugs, smoking weed, sniffing up that powder and all that, because it makes things a lot more vivid. They start to look deeper into regular shit. The same thing with DMT, LSD. You can be looking at the color red, but the color red just seems so much more vibrant than usual, to the point where it seems as if the color is coming closer to you. You just looking at this shit like, I never looked at red in that fashion. Damn, I never knew red was so vibrant like that. You just start pondering on the most mundane shit because you're looking deeper into reality, or you're tapping into the fourth dimensional existence. When you start tapping into the fourth dimensional existence, things that appear to be mundane now start to gain significance. And when it starts to gain significance, now you can flip it to your advantage, because now you look at everything as a teacher. What can I learn with this vision that I have created for myself? And you don't really even have to ask yourself, what can you learn? You will be learning by having that third eye open, by just looking at mundane shit with your third eye and finding significance in things that appear to have no significance. But you will find a significance just by having your third eye open. And that will start to create patterns and ripples effect in the quantum world, which will affect your conscious way of life. So, oh man. Unless y'all have any other questions, we'll get up out of here. So again, definitely stay in tune with the website. Once I get back to Vegas, I'm gonna start writing more articles. So everybody who signed up for the newsletter, you definitely will start receiving more updates. I'm gonna start writing more articles. I'm working on my book. The book is gonna be called Above the Six. Basically, how to stay above that energy of the number 6, or the energy of the physical senses. Pretty much everything we talk about here, it will just be in written form. I'm definitely working on courses, so I will be doing private courses, so people will pay for the courses, and I'll be sending out private links. So the same way we all on live right now, it'll just be a private link sent to certain people, and we can kick it just like we're kicking it right now. So definitely look out for that in the very near future. I'm definitely putting in that work. It's just hard for me to put all these things into writing form, because I'm usually just going off the top. You know what I mean? Because this is just my life anyway, outside of YouTube. You know what I mean? This isn't a YouTube persona. This is what I do any fucking way. So, 333. You already know, 333. Definitely 333 is one of my favorite numbers, as always. So, Kobe has asked a question. Let me make sure the battery is good. Or we at 47%. What's up, Leandro? Good morning. Even though, I haven't been to sleep yet. But, some of you motherfuckers was live with me earlier. So you motherfuckers ain't sleep either. So I appreciate everybody who's still up, who was up doing those 3 fucking hours earlier, and who's still up now. Because you getting this work. You know what I mean? You're not going to find this shit nowhere else, so I understand. But to answer Kobe's question, what is Kobe's question? How do you stop yourself from getting focused on the physical? Once you manifested something last year, I manifested a relationship and it ended. Fear got into. Okay, let me try to piece that together. How do you stop yourself from getting focused on the physical? So I believe I answered that earlier, but I will answer it again just in case you wasn't here. Basically, you stop focusing on the five senses. Basically, when you are training your mind to manifest, when the manifestation takes place, like I was saying before, if you're trying to manifest a relationship using your mind and the actual relationship starts to manifest, don't stop utilizing your mind, being focused on the relationship. Stay focused on your mind. Don't stay focused on the person, because we use our minds to manifest a relationship, but then we get caught up in the relationship and we stop utilizing our mind. That's where we fuck up. What's attracting this person to you is what's going on inside your head, not how much you're into them. You must continue to stay focused on your spiritual work, even while you're in the relationship. That's the difference. People want to manifest a relationship, then stop manifesting the power that got them the relationship in the first place. And they focus on the relationship fully. Don't ever focus on the relationship fully. Keep focusing on your spirituality. Don't neglect your spirituality just because you accomplish a goal. Keep working. So that's why the relationship dynamics change, because instead of focusing on your mind, you start focusing on the relationship. Then the relationship dissolves because you're not putting out the same energy that attracted the relationship in the first place. You know what I mean? Because now you get to have sex and everything. Because now you're in a relationship. Now you're caught up in the sex. You're caught up in the intimacy and being in this person's aura. You stop utilizing this, and everything goes downhill. So always focus on this first and foremost. The relationship is second. Your mind is always first. Don't ever switch those two. That's when you create chaos. You know what I mean? It's 8 a.m. Oh man, fuck. It's 8 a.m. and somewhere in the world it's 8 a.m. God damn. God damn. In terms of this matrix, once you wake up, can you be put back to sleep? Absolutely. You can be put back to sleep. That's why it's a constant effort. You can't put in work for a whole year, then stop for 5 years and expect to have the same results. You must constantly be putting in work. You must maintain your position within the matrix. It's just the same way. If you stop going to work, you will get fired. You're not going to continue to get paid for a job that you're not showing up at. Even if you showed up for a whole year, you must continue to show up to continue to get paid. Same thing. You must continue to put in spiritual work to continue to get results. So if you want to stay awake, you must continue to put in work. Never stop. You may master certain levels, but there always are more levels to be mastered. There is no beginning and no ending. You must keep working. But everybody's afraid of hard work. But that's why everybody has such a hard time in life, because they don't want to work hard for it. But if you don't mind working hard, this shit is easy for the hard worker. This shit is hard for the slouch or the lazy motherfucker. We ain't put no filters. We not trying to make people feel good. Put in that fucking work. It just is what it is, goddammit. How do you energetically let the relationship go once it's over because you can't get her out of your head? Well, the reason why she's in your head is because you put too much energy on her. Why are you still thinking about her? Think about yourself, because you attracted her. You manifested her. You are the sole creator of your reality, not her. So you can attract something better than her with your mind. So instead of having her on your mind, you think about the next woman or the next man if you're a woman. So for all those who's trying to get over an ex, just realize that it was you that created or attracted the ex in the first place. So if you want to move on, you must focus on yourself. Perfect your own thinking. Again, fasting, breathing, exercising, knowledge, putting in that work, so on and so forth, everything I'll be talking about. So, all begins and ends in the mind. So to keep somebody off of your mind, you must replace something else. Or in other words, let me say that in a different way. If something is in your mind and it's hard for you to get something off of your mind, then you must find a way to keep your mind off of this person by replacing it with better thoughts. For example, what the fuck is the purpose of thinking about old pussy that you're not getting anymore, when you can be thinking about the new pussy that you will be getting in the future? It don't make no sense to me. Why am I thinking about a woman that I can't fuck anymore, that I used to fuck, that I only can fuck in my mind, instead of thinking about the future wife or girlfriend that we're going to have amazing times with? We, I always say we because I have multiple personalities. It's beyond bipolar. So that's why I say we. So it's multiple motherfuckers in this room. But that's neither here nor there. We all, we got a sun sign, moon sign, Mars, Mercury. So we are a variety of motherfuckers all into one thing. So that's why I say we. I'm speaking on behalf of the whole cycle of existence, past, present, and future. So that may be a little bit too blunt for people who ain't used to people speaking directly, but just get used to it. But there's no point of thinking about, something that that doesn't even entertain you no more. It's just a waste of time, So I would say replace your ex with your future girlfriend that has yet to be manifested, and think about all the good times you will have in the future while still enjoying the present. Don't think about the future and neglect the present. Stay in tune with the present, but aware of the future as well. And don't neglect the past. Be happy about the past. Release these people effortlessly. Don't be mad about the ex that didn't work and all that. So, we had good times. It had its start and it had its end. Peace. It is what it is. There's no point in being upset. I don't know. This is just the way my mind works. I don't know. But that's my answer. What's the darkest energy? I mean, who knows, man? It's an energy that nobody has even discovered yet. Or I'm not going to say discovered, they just haven't acknowledged it. An energy that hasn't been acknowledged. But the darkest energy, it's the energy that can't be seen. The energy that has no light. And of course, what is that? Ether. Ether has no light. Light moves through ether. So the darkest energy is dark energy or dark matter. So dark energy, dark matter, quantum physics. This isn't all in the realms of quantum physics, if y'all are in tune with that. So dark energy, dark matter, ether, that has no light. Light moves through the ether. So the darkest energy is the energy that has no light, which is ether, or melanin. Okay. How can you tell if you're attracting certain things or if it's just a part of your path? Well, that question is really one and the same. It's one and the same. What do I mean by that is whatever you are attracting is based on your path or your destiny anyway. The reason why, for example, there's a reason. Let's just say you're a woman. There's a reason why you like tall men. There's a reason why you like short men. There's a reason why you like black men. There's a reason why you like white men, or whatever the fuck your preference is. There's a reason why you are attracted to things that you are attracted to. There's a reason why certain things attract you. There's a reason why certain things have a magnetic attraction to you. And that is based on your destiny or your life path. That determines what attracts you and what you don't give a fuck about. So, the things that you are attracted to is for a reason and for a purpose. That's why you must embrace the things that you are attracted to, because there is a reason, there is a lesson hidden within the attraction. So whatever that is attractive to you, there is a reason for that. And you must explore those reasons by engaging in those magnetic attractions to the best of your ability. So whether it's a person, whether it's an artistic piece, whether it's certain type of conversations, whatever magnetically attracts you, there's a reason for it, because it's based on your destiny or your life path or your fate. So don't run from it, run to it. Just be mindful to not take your mind off of it. Remember, the five senses are cool, but keep your mind first. So take your mind into all situations you engage in. Don't never take your attention off of your mind and get too caught up in the five senses and you neglect your own thinking. So don't do that. So engage in this physical world in any way you please, but always keep your mind focused. That's the difference. All right. Sandra says, men never forget me. I mean, god damn it. There's some women out here who just fucks men's heads up so bad, and they be doing that shit on purpose. And that's why I said this shit on the last video. Women know what they be doing. Women know what they be doing. They be doing this shit on purpose. They be fucking people's brains up forever. You be fucking 90 years old still thinking about your first girlfriend because of whatever fucking reason. She just put it on you so great and you was never able to replicate that experience. Man, these women can be dangerous. So all my men, these women can be dangerous. Keep your mind first. And vice versa, these men can be dangerous for the women as well. Keep your mind first, because pretty sure somebody may be able to say the same thing about me. Who the fuck knows? I possibly could have changed somebody's life. Who the fuck knows? I don't think about that stuff, but maybe they still do. Do I still think about my exes? I'm like, if I do think about them, it's always positive. It's not about the arguments or the bullshit. It's about, that was a good experience. I learned something from it. But my feelings don't start getting hurt over this shit. But that's just me. So everybody's different. Alright. You mean like the magician or the fool? You mean a really fucking devilish energy we want to tap into? Well, if you're trying to tap into some devilish energy, then tap into the energy of the devil. It's not the magician, it's not the fool, it's the devil. If you want some devilish energy, tap into the energy of the devil itself, which is the energy of Saturn. So if you just hell bent off tapping into some dark shit, then get a tarot card and meditate on the image of the devil. Put the image of Baphomet in your room. So the last image you see before you go to sleep is that horn-headed, breasted, devilish beast. And you tell me what your experiences are. If you just hell-bent on fucking with some devilish shit, then put images of Baphomet all in your room, on your altar. You know what I mean? If you're really serious about it, then there's a way to do it. You know what I mean? Don't show yourself no mercy and go head over heels into the devilish energy if you so choose. You know what I mean? If that's what you want to do, do it. No judgment over here. If you want to do it, if you went to the black arts or the dark arts, then get it in. But be serious about it. Don't open up that realm and get afraid or get scared. Don't open up that realm if you're not ready for it. But if you're ready for it, then put that work in. What do I think about the Venus sign, Leo, and the signs of Mars? I don't think anything about those signs or any sign. And what I mean by that is every energy serves a purpose. I don't show favoritism. For example, I'm a Scorpio. Scorpios don't get along with fire signs, or that's what they say. But I have an ex who's a fucking Leo. We got along just fucking fine. Of course, we broke up eventually, but so fucking what? It just is what it is. So I don't show favoritism towards signs because obviously there's more to it. That's why I always emphasize. Don't just focus on the sun sign. When you have the ascendant, you have the moon, you have Mars, you have Venus, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. You have a lot of other energies to focus on more than just the sun sign. So that's why I don't really show favoritism towards the sun signs. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot more going on than what appears to be. All right? What's up, Disobeyed Death Wish? Can I explain my perspective of destiny and fate? Oh, sure. In other words, to simplify, without going too heavy, your destiny and or fate is what you chose to experience in this life, which determines why you are drawn to certain people, places, and things. That's why the ultimate lesson of destiny and fate is follow your bliss. If you take nothing else from this video, follow your bliss. Whatever magnetizes you towards it, you must follow your bliss. I can get close to the fucking camera and say that shit. Follow your bliss. Follow your bliss. Don't let nothing stop you. Don't let nothing stop you from following your bliss, because that will put you on the path of walking in your destiny or your fate, which is basically your predetermined reality. Free will is an illusion. That may be a little bit too much, but free will is an illusion. Everything is predestined. Everything is already pre-written. Everything is already sealed within the Akashic records. So what appears to be free will is really us following our own natural path. You know, that's why things like synchronicity can happen. Synchronicity, how can synchronicity exist in a realm of free will? Ponder on that. But you know, that may be a little bit too much, or it may be right up your alley. You know, so free will is an illusion. Let's see, what's my take on being a spiritual being but attracted to the underworld gang life? You can do both. You know, if you just got a killer instinct, you know what I mean? You like busting heads, you like, you know what I mean? You like killing your enemies, you know what I mean? You like putting a knife through people's guts. And of course, gang shit is more than that. I don't want to defame that. It's obviously more going on than just killing and hurting people and violence. Of course. That's why I say it is what it is, you know. Trust me, my hands are very bloody. My hands are very bloody. I'm not innocent at all. I am not innocent at all. That's why I'm spiritual, you know what I mean? I'm trying to clean up my fucking hands, you know what I mean? I did a lot of dirt, as everybody has. Ain't nobody innocent in this motherfucker. If you're real with yourself, ain't nobody innocent. So everybody has a dark side. So some people's dark side is gang banging, which I don't necessarily consider dark. It's just a path in life. You know, bankers can be dark people because they manipulate people and taking people's money. You know, accountants can be wicked. Anybody can be wicked. So it really, you know, whether it's gangs, banks, accountants, lawyers, everybody can be doing wicked shit. You know what I mean? So even if it's legal, you know, so it is what it is. Everybody's hands is bloody to a certain degree, but that's just what we have to do because we on planet Earth and this is a wicked ass society. So you gotta get your hands bloody at times. Not all the time, but at times you must put in the work. You know what I mean? Blood rituals. You know, it is what it is. Definitely. Triple eight, triple eight. How can you find out about your past life? You have to tap into anything you want to explore in that realm. You have to tap into the dream, where you discover these things in the dream world. So once you become aware in the dream world, you can explore your whole history. To even have access to the Akashic records, you must be able to lucid dream. You must be able to astral travel. Read the book Astral Dynamics by Robert Bruce to get your astral travels and your lucid dreaming on point. And you can explore your entire Akashic records if you so choose. But this isn't really something you can do consciously. You have to go into the dream world. You have to go into meditation. You have to go into a trance state to find out deeper hidden secrets if you so choose. All right? Can I talk about blood rituals? I mean, blood rituals are very, very powerful magical tools. Using your blood in any ritual enhances that ritual. And it can be your actual blood or it can be semen, because semen is basically blood too. So, blood enhances any ritual. So for all my blood fanatics, for people who's not afraid of blood, all my menstrual women who's on their cycle, their period, you can utilize that fucking blood and do other shit with it other than, whatever the fuck you do with it. Just throw it away or whatever. But you can use it for magical purposes if you didn't know. So it enhances anything that you're doing. So whatever it is that you're doing, it will be enhanced. So if you are creating symbols, mark the symbol with blood. So you create a symbol for yourself and mark it with blood, it activates the symbol. Because the blood contains DNA and DNA contains fragments of the spirit, and the spirit can tune into the spirit realm, etc., so on and so forth. Without getting too heavy into that. All right. How can you make a ritual to contact the devil? Watch my video on how to summon the devil. I made a whole video on that. So you have to go back into the archives, watch my video, how to summon the devil. And that's if you're really trying to do some real shit, tap into that frequency. You know what I mean? I made many dark videos. I have a whole playlist of dark videos. I just can't remember what the name of the playlist is. I don't know, but I have a lot of dark ass videos that I don't really speak about as often nowadays because I've already traveled those realms. But for those who have not, who's looking to travel into the dark side, check the archives, and it's a lot of dark information for those who don't get fucked up by that type of information. So there you go. Let me see where we at on battery. We at 34%. So I'm going to end the video. Let me answer these last couple questions, and I'm going to end the video. And I'll be right back at y'all. I don't know what time it is. I'm going to let the phone charge up, and I'll probably do another video. Because this is just what we do, right? We're going to keep this shit coming. Let's see. No doubt, Leandro. I see. What do all the planets affect a person's personality equally, or does some planets affect us more than others? Your personality is determined by your ascendant or your rising sign. Your personality is affected by your rising sign. Your rising sign is determined based on the time of day you was born. So if you was born at 12 p.m., let's just say you may be a Leo. If you was born at 3 p.m., you may be an Aries. If you was born at 6, you may be a Scorpio. So if you really want to tap into your personality, study your ascendant or your rising sign. That's going to help you decode your personality specifically. So with that being said, we're going to get up out of here. I'll be right back at y'all tomorrow. So I appreciate it for everybody tuning in, watching. We right back in this bitch. So, Peace, hotep, chaos, destruction, madness. Stay in tune with your spirit at all times. I'll be back, y'all, a little bit later. Take it easy. Take care. We out.